If Mike is unable to go this week, who are some other D tackles that can step up in addition to Tyleek and Ty, like Hero Kanu, for example? Who are some guys that might step up?
Yeah, I think Hero has made a lot of progress. He really has. He made a big play last week, I think, right? Like a third down stop on a running play. So he's a guy I look at. You know, Jaden McKenzie's got a lot of experience too. You know, so he's got that experience that you need to be able to count on in a tough situation.
Nathan Baird, far left, Cleveland.com.
Can we talk to you a lot about the attributes that Sonny's had that have made him such a good fit at nickel? What can make him equally strong at Bandit if he's playing there for Lathan the rest of this way? And does he give you anything that Lathan didn't?
You know, Lathan had really gotten better. You know, he was getting better all the time. I feel terrible for him to be out right now, but Sonny, he's taller. I mean, you know, he has range. He has a lot of experience. You know, we were able to gain him that cover experience at the nickel position, covering a slot in the open field, which is a difficult thing to do, you know, as that translates into the boundary. I think he just he's just got a lot of versatility. Made some plays last game blitzing for us, right? So I think he can be a real factor in the blitz game also.
Is this secondary better set up to, as much as you'll miss Lathan, is it better set up to absorb a loss like this at this stage of the season than it was a year ago?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's, you know, Lathan's a part of it. He's a part of us, but yeah, we're better set up. We have more versatility and more experience, and guys just understand the system so they can fit in different places.
Far left, Joe Nugent, WCMH.
What have you noticed about Minnesota's commitment to run the ball? What's the challenge of facing a team that just wants to pound away the game?
Yeah, similar to Rutgers. They do a great job managing the drives, you know, and you know, taking it down all the way to fourth and short, right? I think they're the best fourth down conversion team in the country. You know, they stole that play from my Eagles. You know, they do that tush push thing. You know, but we got burnt on that fumble Ruski too under that. So you got to be careful. But yeah, I just think they do a good job of managing the game, controlling the ball, taking the play clock down. So we have to stay efficient, stay ahead of the sticks.
Fourth row, far right, Andy Backstrom, Letterman row.
Jim, it looked like Jihad Carter was back on the field defensively with Lathan out right now. I know Sonny's there, but does it help to have the depth of Jihad too?
Yes, because Sonny's is going to have to do more things as we move forward here. So it's not going to be as simple as saying, "Okay, Sonny, you're back there, and that's where you're going to be." There's going to be some moving parts. You know, Sonny's going to have to be in other places too, as we face different sets and personnel grouping. So we need Jihad.
Jeremy Birmingham, the podcast.
Jim, I don't want to put any one person on the spot, but are you as disappointed in Bill Landis as I am that whenever you talk about the Eagles, he doesn't say "Go Birds"?
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to call him out, but now that you brought it up, well, I know, but he doesn't.
Just trying to be respectful.
I don't get anything back.
Now we've cleared that up, but Cody Simon obviously playing a lot in the middle on Saturday. not knowing what Tommy's situation is for this week, how comfortable are you with what you saw from Cody, not just against another run-heavy team like Minnesota, but potentially as Saturday was an audition really for the future?
Yeah, I'm very comfortable with Cody. Cody not only plays well, but he manages the game like Tommy does. You know, he's got that kind of brain and that kind of football intelligence. So we need them both. We need them both, you know, as we come down the stretch here. We need to have the ability to put them in different places.
Sorry about that, Coach.
Yeah.
Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
When you guys put Malik out there earlier this year, it didn't necessarily go as well as it did this time around. Just when you watch him back on the film, what did you like about what Malik gave you this time? How more ready is he to be in that situation in that moment if you need him?
Yeah, I thought he wasn't as wide-eyed as he was the first time. I mean, you know, that's tough for a true freshman, particularly at a safety position. There are checks involved. There are formations. There are a variety of. There are all kind of things that can happen. So, yeah, I thought he, had his emotions under control, and he's a guy that we've seen from the beginning in practice. Like, he always is around the ball. You know, he's one of those guys in practice. If you want to see people coming up with interceptions in practice, you know that famous coaching thing that I'm sure you guys and men and women have done it with your kids. Catch the ball, you know what I mean? Like, that's a coaching thing, right? Catch the ball, you know. But he's one of those guys. Like, there's certain guys. Malik has it, you know, where he's just always around the ball in practice, and he catches the ball, you know. So to see him now transition to actually playing the game, you know, in all aspects, and being able to manage it from the safety position, that's good for him and good for us.
Dan Hope, 11 Warriors.
It seems like Ty Hamilton has taken a step forward these last couple weeks in terms of making more game-changing plays. Have you seen anything different from him here recently?
I haven't seen anything different. And I've been trying to say it all along. You know, I guess maybe Tyleek gets a lot of the attention, and deservedly so. But I've been saying it all year long. Our defensive tackles have been making more plays in the running game. That makes your defense better. It makes your defense better. You know, it's one thing for your defensive tackles to use up blocks and use up gaps. It's another thing when they're actually making tackles. So Ty's doing that too.
Austin Ward, the podcast.
Jim, when you guys have a conversation with Tommy and tell him that he's not going to play a game, is he more talkative, or did he just say, yeah, okay? Did he fight for it?
Yeah, Tommy fights all the time. He fights all the time. He fought to play, you know. He could have played. But we felt it was in his best interest and our best interest that he, you know, takes his time getting back from this injury. Yeah, so he probably had some extra grunts, you know, last week because he couldn't play than his normal single grunts. He probably went to 2 or 3 grunts.
Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
I'll follow that up. In certain statistical categories, turnovers, sacks, kind of the flashy ones, you guys are, you know, towards the bottom of the list. But what matters is the success you've had. I'm just saying, it seems like such a change in what your reputation would suggest. And you talked about this a few weeks ago, but how much of that is we've got talent, and I don't have to kind of do that stuff because I can just let these guys, put them in a position and let them play.
Right. Yeah, I think, you know, we've, like you said, I have adjusted, adapted to the talent, the situation, the program, doing what's in the best interest of the defense, the team, to win games, and you know, to produce a top 5 defense. You said it from the beginning. You know, you're at the Ohio State, you should have a top 5 defense. So what's a top 5 defense? Is it top 5 in those categories? Because I've been there. I've been top 5 in those categories, but I don't think we were very good. I don't know how good we were, but it was like you said, flashy, and I just feel like it is what it is, and we need to keep working on those things that are working for us, to put it easy, and avoid the temptation to try to go after the flashy play and maybe expose yourself somewhere else.
And how much of that is geared toward Michigan and then what happened last year and saying, okay, we're going to make sure we don't have those kind of breakdowns. We're going to, not that it's a one-game season, but you're gearing toward that all year.
Gearing towards the matchup games, right? Coach Day always calls them the matchup games. And we've had a couple already, right? So gearing towards the matchup games where we were not successful last year, and mainly because of explosive plays. So, through a lot of study and a lot of planning, I think you're seeing the benefits of that now.
Far left, Steve Hellwagon, 24/7 Sports.
Yeah, Coach, last week you talked a little bit about Rutgers and how they were able to run the ball effectively. Michigan State came out of the gate. I think they had a 20 and 11 and a 27 there in the first 2 series. But after that, you guys made some type of adjustment, physical, X and O's, whatever it may have been. Just if you can talk a little bit about how important that is, identifying that early in the game and making those changes, I guess, to get those stops.
Yeah, I didn't like that we gave those plays up early. I know which ones you're talking about. I like to say, I always tell the players all their mistakes are on me on game day. So it was my fault. I just started making better calls. But I mean, the adjustments in the college game are everything, because things change so much week to week, and a variety of offenses that you see and things. And then you may spend time in practice on one thing and they do something else, or, they're studying you while you're studying them. So early on, maybe they have seen a couple things that you need to fix. So the fact that we can make those adjustments successful on the field, happen in real time, that's a big deal. I think it's really a key part of any success we've had.
Are you confident in the physicality of this front 7, for lack of a better term, just front 6.5, however you want to put it, that when you get to these matchup games, which even this week, I mean, there's going to be a time where you're going to have to match up with them physically as well. But are you confident in that going forward? That's going to be there to contain what the other team's going to bring.
Yes. Next question.
What makes you so confident in that?
You got
continuing body of work.
Right. You have players that are hungry. You have players that, all this in college football at the highest level, it just goes so much back to what you've done from February onward, and what Coach Mick has done and all the strength coaches have done in the weight room. It's real in college football, because we're still in the developmental process. So you see the off season, you see the way the guys compete, and then you put it on film and you believe.
Tony Girdman, Buckeye Auto.
Jim, with the idea that you have to be playing your best ball in November, is your defense doing that right now?
I'd say so. We gave up, I think it was 2 explosive plays last game. So I would say yes, but you have to keep getting better. I mean, that's the thing again about football. I mean, it's it's got to always be going like this. You can't say, oh, okay, we're playing our best in November, so let's just stay at our best, because it's always like if you're not moving forward, you're moving backward.
Pat Murphy, 24/7 Sports.
Jim, you talked about Cody stepping in physically for Tommy, but who handles all of the things Tommy brings that you've talked about this year when he's not on the field?
Cody. I mean, he's they have very similar football intelligence. Cody has paid attention from the time I've arrived here and asked questions all the time. Actually speaks where Tommy grunts. I had to deal with Cody conversation. But yeah, he's got the same kind of mind, the same football vision.
Dylan Davis, Delaware Gazette.
On Saturday, Ryan mentioned Calvin Simpson-Hunt as the guy who flashed in the second half of that game. I guess what have you seen from his development in this first year?
He's focused, right? Not a big talker, good personality, but a positive and a focused kid. You can coach him. He doesn't get down when he makes a bad play in practice. He's got a positive attitude, and he's fast. He's really, really fast, and that helps.
Deep left, Caleb Spinner, Buckeyes Now on Sports Illustrated.
Coach, I asked the same thing to Ryan Day just a little bit ago, but obviously it's not the primary objective on Saturday, getting the win is, but senior day certainly a big part of this weekend against Minnesota. What have your 4th, 5th graduate year seniors meant to your defense?
Yeah, they mean everything, particularly when you come in as a new coach, right? I mean, it's the older guys, the veterans that if they buy into what you're saying, then you have a real chance, to get the things implemented that you need to do. So these guys have been great to me, and I have not been the easiest person to deal with, but they've been really responsive, really coachable, interested in learning, and we'll miss them.
Joey Kaufman, Columbus Dispatch.
Jim, you talked about Tommy's personality as grunts. He's obviously not a guy, man, a few words. What effect, now that this is the second year with having your middle linebacker with that kind of personality, how has it shaped just the whole defensive guys?
Yeah, I think it's a good point, right? I think we've become, in a large way, we've become really businesslike, really accountable, really focused, like not a lot of, not a lot of debate, kind of like, here are the facts, here's what's happening, how do we fix it? Let's go out and kick ass, because that's how Tommy is, and you're right, it had a big effect on everything.
Is that your ideal scenario? Is it just the way Tommy is?
I don't know. Sometimes if you have an ideal scenario as a coach, you end up trying to push the squad one way or another. I think you see what's there, and you just want leadership. You want leadership, and his happens to be a certain way, and people have bought into that. They respect him, and that's just kind of how our personality has become.
Cameron T. Robinson, The Athletic.
Jim, obviously, when defenses prepare for a Holidays offense, the goal is contain Marvin. But from your perspective, I'm just curious if you can put into context how difficult it is to slow down someone like that. He not only has skill, but is moved around and used creatively like Ryan Day used.
Yeah, coaching the offense and that Kyle Marvin, Prep Pride, by the way. Okay, that whole thing is difficult to handle for me in practice. I remember one time in practice, we had a bracket on him, 2 guys, and he went through both of them and just caught the ball. And I was like, how can that happen? We got 2 guys on him. Well, that's smart. He just went over both of them and caught him. So I think it's extremely challenging for a defense. And then the creativity that coach has, and all those guys do a great job of utilizing that. And there are other players on our offense that are really good. I just think it's a difficult challenge for a defense.
Tim May Show on 3.
Oh, thank you very much, Jerry. You guys are number 1 in the nation right now in pass efficiency. Defense, you're number 2 in against the score, and number 4 in total defense. What does that mean to you at all? Which of those are you more proud, or do you even take stock in that at the moment?
No, I don't take any stock in. Well, it beats not being that.
Yeah.
Right. It beats not being that. But I'd rather have that all be the way at the end of the season, right? That's when you look at statistics. But just now we're just focused on what's happening in the game. How do we get better? What do we need to do to stop them? And I always try to tell them that defense, stats, whatever, it doesn't matter. Defense is a right now proposition. Either you stop them or you don't stop them. So it's, you can't punt on defense. You guys have heard me make that joke before. I've been in plenty of times in my career where I'd say, hey, we don't want to play anymore. Can we punt the ball? Get out of here? So really, his stats, it doesn't matter. It's like, did you stop him or not? What have you done for me lately? That Wall Street saying, it's like, what have you done for me lately? That's defense. It's like, what have you done for me lately? I do think stop rate's important. Where are we at in stop rate? Does anybody know where we're at in stop rate? Yeah, I asked. What am I doing? See, you guys bait me into this stuff, Tim. You bait me into. But no.
Wherever you're talking about, coming out of January.
Yes.
Going, yes. A, B, C, and D.
Yes, I think it's just good that we're doing well. It's good that we're doing well, but stop rate. When you go back and look at the end of the year, stop rate is one of them that I look at, because I don't think many people understand that. But because I've been times where we've been the best sack. We sacks, third downs. We're the best in the country. But it's like the stop rate, I believe, Bill will probably tell me, boils down to did you stop them or not? Nothing else matters. It's like, did you stop them or not? And that is the ultimate of what defense is.
Do you ever address a team like coming out of Saturday or last week or whatever that, hey, you're going to face better quarterbacks? I mean, it's not putting people down, but you understand what I'm saying? You're going to face better quarterbacks down the road, basically. Do y'all talk about stuff like that?
We just talk about, we talk about where we want to be at the end of the year, and how we want to keep getting better. I think sometimes if you could say we're going to face better quarterbacks, but that was the only quarterback we were playing on that day, so how did we do? We can never get carried away with ourselves. We have to be really specific about demands, expectations, the results that come off of it. Who are we playing? What did we do? What did we do well? How can we get better?
And one of the quickie, Cody and Steele are out there. Who's the next linebacker in your mind in that run? I mean,
CJ. Yeah. CJ he made a nice play last week. Really, shot the gap, did a great job. Yeah, so CJ's always right there, and he's learning and growing, and he's a great kid. But he's talented, and Gabe's been involved too. Gabe's been involved. Gabe was up and ready to go. With Tommy being down, he had to be up and ready to go. when you coach, really, it's like you have to think one play, like who's one play away from going in there, and that's because that's reality.
And final questions, Bill Landis, the podcast.
Go Birds.
Yes.
To the point of stopper, I'm just wondering how annoying, or maybe another word it might be, that the only thing between you guys and a shutout is a college kicker hitting a 50-something yard field goal.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to him, I guess. I didn't even know how long it was. It looked long, and it looked like it barely trickled in too. But hats off to him, and those are like I like to call luxury problems. Luxury problems. It is what it is.
Great, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim.